Good afternoon. This is Ahmed, the co-founder of No Flood Florida. Last week I made a video helping you navigate the FEMA National Flood Hazard Layer website so that you can look up your flood zone. If you would like to see that video, I can include the link. It's also, here's a title. Navigate the FEMA page to find your flood zone. So I walk you through that process. But today I would like to actually show you something else. In that last video I mentioned that you can't necessarily trust the FEMA effective floodplain data because the effective date in this area is a little old, 2003, so we're talking, I don't know, 16 years. And so the model that was developed to create this data has to be even older. So there's something else we can look at to find the flood risk for the area you're interested in. Oh, and congratulations to the American women's soccer team. They just won. All right, so Southwest Florida Water Management District, their map viewer. So obviously you would have to be in the 16 county region that is overseen within the SWFWMD area to be able to actually use this. Luckily, I'm looking at a property in Pinellas County, which Pinellas County is. So the first thing you want to do is you search this website, the Watershed Management Program website for the Southwest Florida Water Management District. Say that 5 times fast. And you could either search by address, or you could search directly by the watershed in the county. So if you happen to know which watershed a property you're interested is in, you could just search it directly through that. Obviously, most people don't know, so you could just use this tool to search the watershed. So I have the address here. I'm just going to copy it over. There's that. Obviously, I already searched it earlier, just so I'm not fumbling too much. All right, so it says watershed search result, Starkey Road Basin. So that's the name of the watershed that we're looking at. So this house here is in a watershed called Starkey Road Basin. All right. It says if your search was successful, reference the list of preliminary floodplain result public meetings scheduled so far. Also, you may launch the floodplain map viewer. All right, so let's try that. Now we could search by watershed because we know which watershed it is. So we're going to go to Pinellas County. Here's Pinellas County, and here is Starkey Road Basin, the watershed we're looking for. And then it's going to give us a disclaimer saying these maps are for information purposes only. It's you know, it may or may not be governing board approved. It might also say something about it's not a FEMA effective, you know, it might not be FEMA effective data or what have you. So we're going to click here to acknowledge disclaimer and launch map viewer. So once we click that, it's going to pull up this floodplain map viewer. The FEMA one is a little nicer as far as from a user standpoint. It's you know, you could search an address. It's got a bunch of different layers you could turn on and turn off, which is really cool. But the really useful thing about this viewer is it actually has data that FEMA does not have. So we're gonna navigate, and there might be a way to search an address. I'm not familiar with this enough. I don't see anything to search an address, but it's going to be pretty easy because the house was, let's see, you know, here's Starkey Road Basin. I think it was right next to this pond. Let me check again real quick. So here's this. Let's look for that, and then we're going to look southwest of it. So here's that thing. Oh, yep, here's Bryan Dairy Road. Sorry about this. All right, so it's got to be one of these houses right here. I think it's the one with the pool, maybe. We'll Oh boy. All right, so it's this guy right here. It's this house. Now that we found the house we're looking at, we can look over to the left side of the screen. It has the parcels. All right, that's wonderful. The floodplains. Now these floodplains are the floodplains that were created by the study in that watershed, the Starkey Road Basin. And if we click on it, might give us some information. So let's see, governing board approved, no. So it wasn't a governing board approved project, but the date, as you can see here, is October 2013. So this is 10 years after the FEMA effective floodplain data. So if we compare, and the nice thing about this SWFWMD viewer is you could actually view their data and the FEMA data side by side. So if you turn on the FEMA data, this kind of blue dashed polygon here is the FEMA data. And you can see this entire neighborhood is in the high-risk flood zone according to the FEMA data. And you could click on it. Oh, sorry. Never mind, you can't click on it. We could go back to here. It says the base flood elevation is 10, and it has this entire neighborhood underwater. The updated data from Southwest Florida Water Management District, here is their high-risk flood zone. So they're saying this road is going to flood. Some of these ditches will be underwater. A couple of houses here will be underwater. This road is going to be underwater. Obviously, these ponds. But for the most part, as you can see here, it's pretty dry. So let's say you're looking to buy this house or this house, and you're looking at the FEMA effective floodplain data. You're seeing this and you're saying, holy moly, this whole thing is underwater. But this model that was developed in 2013 indicates otherwise. You're still going to have flood insurance if you have a mortgage on your house, because the mortgage provider is going to look at the FEMA data, not anything else. However, from the standpoint of just for your own peace of mind, it's good to know that this later data shows that there's actually less flooding in this area. And with time, this data might be submitted to FEMA. So FEMA actually adopts this 2013 study, then you're going to be out of the high-risk flood zone, and the requirement to have flood insurance is going to be lifted. So I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, let me know, and I hope I didn't ramble for too long there.